Welcome back to Further Solutions Academy. Further Solutions Academy. On this video, I'll be walking you on proving on differential calculus. By now, we have a lot of videos on differential calculus which you can play with. I have questions that are dropped on our channel. On our page. The first one, this is the first and second. The first one says that y equals to x plus root of a squared plus s squared, where a is a constant. Prove that this plus this minus y equals to this, and if this equals to this, show that this equals to this. Now that's what I'm going to work on. I'll get two videos on this. This will be video 1 and this will be video 2 on this area, which is for better clarification. Now I need to start solution. Don't forget to share and subscribe. If you have not subscribed before, kindly do so now. It's very, very important. Now I have this problem which I just need to now what I just need to do is very simple. I have y equals to what? X plus root of a squared plus x squared. Take note of this. It's very, they said a is a constant, and that, thank God, and you are asked to prove that this plus this minus this equals to. Don't worry, this is my y. It means this is what is there. Let me generate my y squared. Now my y squared, the y will be what? Dy will be equals to 1 plus, I differentiate this with respect of x, which I'll be having 2x dot 1 all over 2 and dot a squared plus x squared bracket of 1 all over 2 minus. Take note of this. I can write this as well as x plus a plus s bracket of 1 all over 2. Take note of that. Take note of that. Now, because root, we are told that any root of y equals to root of x, it can also be what? Y 1 all over 2. Take note of that. Now, since I have that, it means I will cut down. If you don't understand the differential equation, you may not be able to get along with this video. There are videos for you on quotient, on products, and on function of function, which I call chain rule. Please make sure you view those videos before you can get along with us here. Now, what I need to do now is that I'll be having 1 plus x. This is minus, which is going to be divided by what? A squared plus x squared, bracket of 1 all over 2. Because of the minus here, because we're told that y equals to x raised to the power minus 1, the same thing as what? Y equals to 1 all over x, take note of that, which is called inverse. Now it means my dy, the x will be equals to a squared plus x squared all 1 all over 2 plus x, everything divided by what? A squared plus x squared all 1 all over 2. Take note of this. What I just find the LCM. For instance, when you have something like this, you have 1 plus 1 all over 3. The same as 3 plus 1 all over what? 3. Take note of that. That's what I just do, which I find the LCM. Let me use variable, which is x plus y all over n. It means the LCM become m, xm plus y. That is what I am trying to work on. Take note of that. It's not a hard problem. Now it means my dy dx equals to what? Equals to that. Now I just need to move on to what I need to do now. This is my dy dx. I can answer what? I want to find the what? I can call this dy dx equals to what? I have a squared plus x squared all root of 1 all over 2 plus x divided by a squared plus x squared bracket of 1 all over 2. Now, I'm looking for my d squared. This, I want to differentiate second derivative. Now my second derivative, which is I'll be having d squared y divided by s, will be equals to, now I can just say that what this is the quotient rule. Now I can say that u will be equals to a squared plus x squared bracket of 1 over 2 x plus x, and normally the u will be equals to 1 over 2 dot 2x dot a squared plus x squared bracket of minus 1 over 2 plus 1, because I just differentiate this now, which I'll be having this, it means the u will be equals to the x will be equals to, this is the x, will be equals to x divide, let me not do that way. I will be having x divided by a squared plus x squared bracket of 1 over 2 plus 1, which I can also say that the u, the x, you have to calm down because this are no, can be any questions. When you rush, it's likely you run to mistake. Divided by what? A squared plus x squared all root. Now, can you see power of mathematics now? I apply many things to subjects. Now, you know that my v will be equals to what? This is my v, this is my v. A squared plus what? All bracket of 1 over 2. It means my dv, the x will be equals to 2x dot or bracket of 1 over 2 bracket of as plus x bracket 1 over 2. This will cancel this. Now it's also minus, which I will be having dv, the x will be equals to x divide a squared plus x squared bracket of 1 over 2. Now for me to have this, can you see I'm applying a lot of things. Indices is coming to play now, and laws of indices is coming to play, because you have to understand those things very well. Now since I have that, I can also say that my what? D squared y all over what? S squared will be what? Which is second derivative will now be equals to v d du all over what? The x minus u dv all over the x, everything divided by what? V squared. Everything divided by v squared. Now I can now continue by having, what is my u? My v is given as d squared y all over s squared. It will be equals to, I have a squared plus as bracket of 1 all over 2. That is my what? My v. What of my du? This is my du. I'll be having, open a big bracket, x plus as plus bracket of 1 all over 2, close the bracket, divided by as plus x all 1 all over 2. Now that is mine. I will now move on by having minus, now minus, I'm having v, which is u. What is my u? This is my u. This is my u. I'll be having, permit me to run to make use of this line, a squared plus x squared bracket of 1 all over 2 and plus x. That is my u. What is my dv? My dv, this is my dv. Dv is given as dot x divides a squared plus x squared bracket of 1 all over 2. Hope there is no any problem. There is no any problem. Yes, there is no any problem. Now at this point, don't forget I started from here and I head here. Take note of that. Now it's time to do some little things. By so by looking at this will cancel this. I think that is very correct. Now I can answer that my what? It will be equals to x plus bracket of a squared plus x squared bracket of 1 all over 2. That is very correct. And I'll be having minus. Here will be x bracket of a squared plus x squared bracket of 1 all over 2 plus x squared. Please make sure you introduce your brackets here. It's very important because of this minus. Now if it is not, you have caused a lot of problem. Don't forget everything divided by v squared. Hey, I didn't move that. My v squared is, my v squared, this is my v. It means my v squared will be a squared plus x squared. Sorry, forgot that. Don't forget that v squared. Now, I think I've done that. Here will be divided by a squared plus x squared bracket of 1 over 2. Everything divided by what? A squared plus x squared, which is my v. Now, by so doing this, what can I do that will make my work to be more simpler? Now, I can now say that, okay, now, I can say that this will be x bracket of as, hope I'm not making any mistake. Okay. Hope there is no any mistake there. Okay. Okay. Now, I will now have what? This, the bracket of a squared plus x squared bracket of 1 over 2 and minus x bracket of a squared plus x squared 1 over 2 minus plus, I'm opening bracket direct. Must I know? I don't need to open the bracket direct. Which is s squared divided by, here we'll be having a squared plus x squared. Now, think of this and this, they have the same base. It means as squared plus s squared and a s plus s squared bracket of this 1 over 2. When the base are equal, which is indices, which is I'll be having power 1, it means it will be what? 3 over 2. It will be 3 over 1 plus 1 over 2, which is 3 over 2. Now that is how I got this 3 over what? Over 2. Now what else can I do? Don't forget I'm working on this square y all over s squared y. Now see, the next thing I need to do is that I will move on by saying that what can I do? Looking at something here, I can easily say that the y, the x squared will be equals to, normally this I'll be having x bracket of a squared plus x squared 1 over 2 minus s bracket of a squared plus s squared 1 over 2 minus s squared divided by a squared plus x squared bracket of 3 over 2. Now, by so doing this we cancel out this. That will cancel out that. Hope I'm not making any mistake. The answer is no. Okay. Since it's that and that, it means I'll be having my d squared all over s squared will be equals to minus x squared all over as plus x squared bracket of 1 over 3 over 2. Now, I will now move on to the next one, which is, hope there is no any mistake. There is no any mistake. Okay. Oh. There is a mistake here. The SM is this. Okay. yes, which I have this. Now I have this minus this. Okay, hope I'm not handling one part of the question. This will cancel out this. Now this and which is x and x squared, which is I'll be having that and that and that. Now to continue with this, now permit me to rub the board. Oh, there is a silly mistake here. Sorry. The LCM goes this way, which is this, and this will give us. Sorry, I think I make a lot of mistake here. Permit me to rub this side. I think I need to retrace it. There is a mistake there, which I need to trace back. Now, okay. Let me retrace that back. I need the space here. Let me just manage the space so that I'll be able to get a better space. Now, what we are trying to do is that this all over will be equals to, here will be x bracket of a squared plus x squared. Now, sorry, x into bracket of a squared plus x squared 1 all over 2. That is the first one. And this one will be plus. That is where the mistake is. This and this will give us what? A squared plus x squared. That is very correct. Now, minus x, which is bracket of a squared plus x squared 1 all over 2. And here will be minus x squared. Minus x squared. Now, that is what I've opened the bracket directly, divided by as plus x squared 1 all over 2 dot what? A squared plus x squared. Now, that is what, yes, I think successfully corrected now. I think yes. Now, this will cancel out this. I think that is very correct. And this will cancel out this. And I was looking at this problem somewhere. The y all over the x, which is, it will be equals to a, because there is one a left here, divided by a squared plus x squared bracket of 3 all over 2. That is all. 3 all over 2. That is all what we need to get. Now, I can now proceed by the question that is being asked from the onset. The question says that this is how the question comes. You are asked to show, proof that this equals to what is 0. Let me write it out. A squared plus x squared d squared y all over x squared y plus x dy all over minus y equals to 0. Now, what I just need to do is not add. What is I have a squared plus x squared dot, what is d squared? This is going to be what? A squared divided by what? A squared plus x squared bracket of 1 all over 2, which is this. Now, I will now move on to the next one, plus, what is my x dot dy? The x, this is my dy, the x, which I'll be having, we have x squared, s bracket of 1 all over 2, plus x. Please, at this point, you have to put a big bracket, divided by what? A squared plus x squared, 1 all over 2, 1 all over 2. And minus y. What is my y? Minus y. My y is, this is my y, which is, I'll be having x plus a squared plus x squared, all bracket of 1 all over 2, will be equals to 0. Now, let's try to check. Maybe it will be equals to 0. Let's try to check out for that. Now, what I just need to do now is very simple. It's very, very simple. It's very, very simple. Now, what I just need to do now at this point is that, look at this and this. We have 1 all over 2. It means I'll be having 1 minus 1 minus 1 all over 2. 1, because they are the same base. 1 minus 1 over 2, which let me just try to, I will be having a squared plus x squared bracket of 1 minus 1 all over 2. They are the same base, which is dot of what? A squared. That is for that. And plus this also, what can I do here? Can I do anything here? I think so, which I'll be having. There's nothing I can do anyway. There's nothing. There will be a bracket here. Please take note of that. There will be a bracket there. Now, at this point, I'll be having x bracket of a squared plus x squared, and bracket plus x squared, because I've opened the bracket successfully. Now, which is, I can see that divided by what? As plus s squared, as plus x squared, 1 all over 2, 1 all over 2. Now, I just split this, like when you have a plus b all over c, the same as a all over c plus b all over c. Take note of that. That is what I just did here. Now, here will be minus, now, x and minus a squared plus x squared bracket of 1 all over 2. Will it be equals to 0? Let's try to wash out. Now, what is there is that this is 1 all over 2. Don't forget, this is 1 all over 2. If successfully, this will cancel out this, which it will be very correct. And here will be what? Which will be what? 2 all over 3. Can it be 2 all over 3? Oh, see, sorry. It will be 3 all over 2. 3 all over 2. 3 all over 2. Yes. 3 all over 2. Now, it means I'll be having a squared starting from here and ending here. Now, a squared divided by, here when you minus this, it will be what? A plus x squared bracket of 1 all over 2. And here will be plus x, which is this one has cancelled out. Don't forget, I'm having 1 minus 3 all over 2. Yes, 1 minus, it means 2 minus 3 all over 2, which it will give us what? I can write this as up, which is going to be minus 1 all over 2. Minus will come down, which is I've taken a step there for that. Okay, for those that are learning, I don't know, maybe they will be able to understand, but let me just try to make it simplified, because for those that are, that are not very good in indices. Now, what I'm having here, I'll be having a squared plus x squared bracket of minus 1 all over 2, which is a squared, and plus x, I think it will be better like this, and plus x squared divided by a squared plus x squared, or bracket of 1 all over 2, and minus x minus a squared plus x squared bracket of, I've opened the bracket, which is equals to 0. Now, I think everybody can understand now. Now, this is what I'm talking about. It will now be a squared divided by a squared plus x squared 1 all over 2 plus x plus, we have x squared divided by, okay, hope there won't be any problem here. Okay, now we have that, which I'll be having. Okay, permit me so that I can be able to utilize the board. Permit me to use this so that I can be able to utilize the board very well. So shocking. Now, permit me to use that. I think I'll be having a squared plus x squared 1 all over 2. Now, and minus x and minus s squared, a squared plus s squared bracket of equals to 0. Now, I just try to make it more simpler. This will cancel out this. Now, since that is the case, if I should find the LCM here, my LCM will remain a squared plus x squared, bracket of 1 all over 2. Everything will now be divides. Okay, everything will be divides. Now look at this. This in this we have a squared, my plus x squared. Now here will be minus. When you have something like this, it will be okay. Hope I'm not making any mistake. No. It will be I'm having 1 minus 1 all over 2, which is going to be what? Oh, there is a mistake somewhere. Permit me to check. Sorry, I've left something like this is 1 all over 2. 1 all over 2. Sorry about that. I think since I have that, here will be bracket of a minus s squared, which is, the LCM. We take away the root. Can it be equals to 0? Let's try to do it. Now, which I'll be having a squared minus s squared, plus s squared minus a squared minus a squared, and this will be plus. This is plus. Sorry, this is going to be minus x squared. This is going to be what? Divided by a squared plus x squared, or bracket of 1 all over 2. Can it be equals to 0? This is squared. Sorry, we cancel this. This we cancel this. Is 0 divided by a squared plus x squared, or bracket in root 1 all over 2, which is equals to 0. It means any number represented by 0 is 0 will be equals to 0. That is very correct. Now that's all about that. This can be any question in any exam. Don't forget, in the next video I'll be working on the second one. Thank you for watching.